everyone, how's it going? I got something here I'd like for y'all to take a look at. You know, I've been on the search for a small compact utility tractor with a cab. I've looked at Massey Ferguson, I've looked at John Deere 4066R, looked at the Massey Ferguson with a 2860, looked at the Kubota L6060. Looked at quite a few, even went to go buy an L6060 and then I ended up not buying it that was used. Anyway, I've got another used tractor here today. I've got it here at my place. It's a demo. It's not mine, so we're just looking at it, not sure we're going to buy it, or I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it. But anyway, I do kind of like it. It's something a little different, but here it is, and it is blue. It is a New Holland boomer, and it's a 3045 Series 2 with a super sweet cab. And I really like the cab. The cab is very roomy and comfortable, I think, compared to the other ones I've been in. Have plenty of room for your elbows and everything in there. But and it's a pretty good looking tractor. But here's the thing: this tractor is used, and it has 1,115 hours on it right now. And it has some major, well, I wouldn't say major issues, but it has some issues. And so one of them is, they showed me this, they sent me a picture of this before I even went and picked it up, but this bucket has been, it's obviously been run into something pretty hard. And I think that caused another issue that it has over here. There's nothing bent over here that I can tell, but it hit hard enough that it shoved this through this window. There's a hole in the window right there. I don't know if you can see it, but see, the window's shattered. Now the other thing is it's got quite a bit of rust on it. They said that it might have been used to push snow and spread salt in West Virginia, so it's got a few issues like that. It's got the fenders busted a little bit here. There's a light broken. The back of the cab has duct tape, blue duct tape on it, or they painted it blue. So it would need a new cab. It would need a new window, not cab, but a new top for the cab, just a plastic top. A new window. It needs some body work to the bucket, obviously. And here's the biggest thing that worries me about it: the PTO will not stop running, and the PTO is off, but it won't stop running. So the brake is bad. Something's wrong with the PTO. I haven't tried it to hook it to a bush hog or anything to see if it will stop under a load. I did try to put my foot on it and it wouldn't stop. And it has a hydraulic leak, but I think the hydraulic filter is rusted. The bottom's rusted out, and it's leaking straight out of the bottom of the hydraulic oil filter. I don't know, they had this ball on here, and they had all these clevises on here. I don't know what all that mess was on there for, but like these right here, these are rusted up. That won't move. That won't move. Anyway, here's the fuel tank. The back glass opens. It has lights on the back. One of them works, one of them don't. Those are aftermarket, obviously, LED lights. It has the standard lights on the front. Has a wiper on the front, none on the back. It's got a little toolbox down here. It ain't very big. It does have a skid steer style quick connect, and this was important to me, having this third function, and it is a live third function. So when you hit the button, it actuates those couplers, so you don't have to it doesn't have a diverter valve like a lot of tractors do. So let's get in the tractor. This cab is probably my favorite part of this tractor. And it's just like our other Boomer tractor, or New Holland compact tractor. I mean, the console and everything's the same. This is your lift arm. Here's your PTO. So, and then this is the loader, obviously, but I don't know if it's bent. See how far it's laid back? I don't know if they bent it, or if it was bent on purpose, or if it came that way. But it has this aftermarket handle with this switch. You can hear that's the auxiliary hydraulics operating. Over here is a cup holder, a little cubby hole, and you have cruise control, because this is a CVT transmission. It's very neat how it works. You have an anti-stall for it. You have a response. You can change the response speed, and this is actually the ranges. It's a three position switch, and it changes the ranges on the dash. You got 1, 2, and 3 range. Very easy to change range. All you have to do is let off the pedal down here and push this button to do a different range, and you're good to go. So I've been using it in 2 range mostly. This tractor is 45 engine horsepower and 36 on the PTO, I think. So it does have tilt steering and telescopic. Up top, it's got a Bluetooth radio with dual speakers. Has vents up here. Oh, it's got a little sunroof so you can see up really good when you raise the loader. The loader speed is pretty good, and it will do 2 functions at once very easily. Unlike our other TC tractor, TC45 or TC40 New Holland, it won't do all that. It has heat, air conditioning. There's your wiper and your cab light controls, and you have vents over here, another speaker. You have a little sun visor here. But the neat thing about this tractor is the CVT. So anytime you push this pedal when you don't have it in gear, you get a code up here. It says RP. RP just means release the pedal. So if you put your foot on that pedal in neutral, it wants you to release the pedal. But you can use the pedal as a throttle while you're sitting still when it's not in gear. And when you put it in gear by just doing that, and it does not go anywhere or do anything until you mash this pedal. So once you mash this pedal, you're off. And the harder you mash it, the faster it goes, and the more throttle it also gives the engine. Now you also have a hand throttle you can set, and if you push the hand throttle wide open or push it up, then you push the pedal, it just makes the tractor go at whatever rate you're pushing the pedal. It doesn't change the RPMs until you get over the preset RPM of the manual throttle. In other words, if you got it set right there and you mash the pedal and you want to go faster than that engine speed set, and you keep mashing the pedal, it'll speed the engine up. Now, another thing you can do when you want to go in reverse, you just use the same pedal. You can let off the pedal, put it in reverse right here, and then mash the same pedal, and it'll go backwards. And you do not have to use the brakes. As soon as you let off this pedal, it comes to a stop, just like a hydrostat transmission. So then you can just put it back and forwards, mash the pedal, and it will continue on. Now, another neat thing you can do is, if you're going at this speed with your pedal and you don't want to let off the pedal, you can just put it in reverse, and it will change directions just like a shuttle shift on a gear drive tractor. So you can just do that, and it'll change directions. And I really like that feature because you can, it has a cruise control, and you can set the cruise control how fast you're going. If you're changing directions, the cruise control will stay engaged, and it's just like having it in a gear. And you can shuttle forwards and reverse without changing the speed of the tractor. And so I really like that. It'll go about 20 miles an hour in the third range, so it'll scoot along pretty good. We'll take off down the hill here. Whee! It's got a speedometer up there. We're flying. We got up to about 17, but it'll go a little faster than that. I'm going to put it back in 2. You just have to let off the pedal and switch it, and then go back on the pedal. So I kind of like the transmission in this thing. One thing I don't like about it is if you go up a hill, it gets kind of wonky because the engine will start lugging down and the transmission doesn't really compensate for the engine lug. So if you keep mashing the pedal, the engine just runs out of power and the tractor basically wants to try to stop. So it's kind of weird. But other than that, I like it. There goes my brother-in-law. So let's see if I can have an example of what happens if you overtax the transmission. All right, I'm going to put it in forwards. I'm going to put it in range 3, and I want to go uphill, which you should know better than to do that, but you would think that they would have some type of safety against it, I guess you would say. But no, they allow you to overtax it. So I'm going to go up this hill in range 3, and I'm going to try to hold it wide open. All right, I'm holding it wide open, and it's lugging the engine down, lugging the engine. All right, the tractor is starting to slow down, and now it's like shuddering, and it's going to stop. I'm going to let off the pedal, and now it'll start going again. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if y'all were able to really catch on to that in the video, but I think that's just something that you would have to like get used to, just because of the design of the transmission. You know, if you try to take off in high gear up a hill on a hydrostat, you're going to have the same result. You're going to run out of power, but I don't know, it just feels different, I guess. You would think a computer controlled transmission would compensate. Even if you held the pedal wide open, you would think they would back the CVT down, to gear the tractor down, and then have it increase the RPMs by taking load off the transmission, but it doesn't. They're taking load off the engine by changing the gear in the transmission, which is basically how a CVT works. Is there's 2 sheaves that move in and out and change the gearing of the transmission. Anyway, I do like the transmission. I like how it works for the most part for doing normal tractor work. Now I want to get it out in the field and do some like bush hogging or something and see how that does. I'm going to think about driving it straight up this hill and see what it will do. There's a hill right here in front of me that's really steep, goes up to the shop. I'm going to put it down in range 1. Let's just see what it does if you try to drive it up a steep hill like this. Oh, and here's 4-wheel drive. It is just a flip switch. I like that. See, it don't really want to go up this hill, even in the first range. It's like kind of jerky. That kind of worries me a little bit, being a used tractor. If this was a new tractor that did that, well, I wouldn't think it would do that, but I don't know. Being a used tractor, I'm kind of concerned maybe there's something slipping in the transmission, but I don't know. I don't have an owner's manual to refer to, so. Now see, at half throttle, it goes right up this thing. Well, there it slipped. It slipped right there. So, yeah, I don't know. Something about the transmission may not be quite right. But that's why I've got it here and I'm trying it out. It's hard to find anything used right now. But I do like this cab probably better than any of the other ones I've been in, as far as comfort, for me anyway. I want to move a little bit of stuff over here around my wood processor. We'll do that right quick. Okay, so I just got a bunch of bark and stuff right here I wanted to clean up. I'm going to rev it up just a little bit to be able to use the loader without it idling all the way down. See, this is what I like about this transmission. And a hydro would do the same thing, but hydros take so much power from the tractor to do the same job as a gear drive. You lose so much efficiency. This is like a compromise between a gear drive and the hydrostat. You get the power to the ground. Well, you should get the power to the ground of a gear drive when everything's working correctly. I don't know that it is on this tractor working correctly, but you should get the power to the ground of a gear drive with the ease of use of a hydrostatic. That's the whole idea behind it. That's the reason for it. You know, anybody that has a hydrostatic knows that they eat up a lot of engine power, especially on these small tractors that don't have a lot of engine power to start with. So that's what the deal is with that. I love doing loader work with this thing. You can see so good off of it, and it's just easy to operate with this transmission. The loader's pretty quick. The condition it's in tells me that whoever owned it did not give a damn about it, really. I mean, they just tore it all to hell basically and didn't fix it, traded it in. So that's kind of worrisome also. I wish I could find one of these that was newer or brand new just to compare, but I don't think they make them anymore. I think they quit making them in 2016. They aren't very popular. On the transmission, you know, that would be cool. But probably not unless used on a track this many hours. Tell you what, I've never had a tractor this small with a cab where you could get in and do stuff like this, you know, so easily. Most bigger tractors, you got to work the clutch constantly. You know, you can't get them into bigger areas, stuff like that. But having this cab on this small tractor where you can do little work like this right here and just shuttle back and forth so easily and get around so easily in a small area, it's really nice to have this cab because it is cold today. It's 50 degrees, but the wind is crazy today. This cab just makes way. I ain't even got the heat on. It just keeps keeping the wind off of me, and that makes 100% difference. Clean this up a little bit more here. can't lift that much. See right there, it won't spin now it's spinning the tires. I don't know, sometimes it won't spin the tires and sometimes it will. It's kind of weird. It makes me wonder if there's something a little bit wrong with the transmission. I'm gonna let off and then go again and see, now it'll spin the tires. Now it won't spin the tires. Now it'll spin the tires. In the same range, so makes you wonder what's going on. Man, it pushes pretty good, but sometimes if you keep mashing the pedal, nothing happens. It won't spin the tires. It won't rev the engine up. It just, see right there, it's spinning the tires. So in conclusion, sorry, don't put your foot on the pedal unless you're ready to go. In conclusion, I like this tractor, but I'm concerned about the transmission. I actually like the transmission. I like how it operates, but I'm kind of scared of it with being 1,100 hours on it. Not knowing how the tractor was treated, other than I see it's been ran into something, and the top's been beat and banged up quite a bit. The window broke out. You know, they didn't wash it. If they spread salt with it, they didn't wash it. They probably didn't service it. If they didn't take no better care of it than that, they probably didn't service it very often, if they serviced it at all. All those things worry me, so it's a possibility it's probably not buy this tractor, just because of those things. I don't know if the transmission is operating. If somebody has any experience with these CVTs on these little tractors, I know they were in these Boomer 3000 series, and they were in one of the Case series too, Case compact. in the Boomer 8N. It's an interesting tractor. But anyway, if you have any experience with these CVTs, if this one is not operating correctly, let me know, please. But yeah, just if you get too much load on it, instead of stalling out the engine, or it just seems to start slipping internally or something. It feels like when an automatic transmission slips, that's kind of what it feels like. It starts doing this right here, getting a little shudder, and then it feels like you lose power to the ground. So that kind of worries me. I don't think that's how it's supposed to act. I don't have a new one to compare it to, because they don't make them anymore as far as I know, and maybe that's the reason they don't. Maybe they didn't hold up. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. The little Boomer tractor here. We'll talk to y'all later. Okay, so on one final note here on this tractor, I'm pretty sure that the transmission is slipping. Okay, I know the transmission is slipping in forwards, and it must use a different clutch pack for reverse, because it's not slipping in reverse. It actually, instead of like giving up and shuddering in reverse, it just pulls the engine down if you mash the pedal too hard, just like a hydrostat. It just makes it pull the engine down harder and harder. Whereas when you go forwards, if you keep trying to mash the pedal down, all of a sudden the tractor will stop moving and the engine will rev back up and it'll just shudder. So it's slipping in forward. So there is something wrong with this transmission, unfortunately. It's going to have to be rebuilt, and I don't want to have to rebuild it. I mean, I would, if the transmission was solid in the tractor, if somebody went through it and rebuilt it and warranted it, I would be okay with that. I mean, it made it 1,100 hours. It takes me a long time to put 1,100 hours on a tractor. And it also has a lot to do with how you operate this tractor, I'm sure. If you put it in too high a gear and then try to go slow and do things, I'm sure it's a lot harder on the clutches in it. I know it has 2 clutch packs in it. I've seen them. I've seen a guy working on one of these one time, and the clutches were burnt up in it. It has 2 clutch discs, 2 clutch packs in it about that big around. And I thought that was a little bit small being a tractor, the clutch disc. And I think they should have been bigger. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know that much about it. I just remember vaguely at the dealership one time, the guy there had one tore down, and he showed me the clutch discs, and they were just little tiny things. And I was like, what? But he said that they were using it to clear snow from sidewalks, and he thought they were using, like, they were going extremely slow using snow blowers, and they were using range 2 instead of range 1, and he thought that's what caused the clutch to burn up in it. But anyway, it could be, that could be why they couldn't make them. It just didn't hold up. I don't know. Anyway, I like how it operates. I just wish that it was okay. So that's what I've determined. You must have a different clutch pack for reverse, because reverse works just fine. I decided, I'm going to try it in reverse. Up this same hill and up the steep hill over there, and it was a totally different tractor. It operated just like I thought it should. So anyway, talk to y'all later.